Hey everyone, and welcome back to Rebel Rambling. So today I'm doing the A-Wing from, this is the one from the Legacy Collection for today's episode of my preview series. We're back again on my movie chair that I have in my movie room. Can't wait to actually get things more set up in my eventual Star Wars display room. It'll be making some of these videos a lot better, or a lot easier, but a lot better because I think there'll be a lot of stuff also in the background rather than just the back of a chair. And I want to continue on the Return of the Jedi theme, this year being the 40th anniversary. And one of my goals, as I mentioned in some previous videos, is the fact that I do, outside of my part of my Star Wars display, I want to have a Rebel hangar that's going to have a bunch of the different ships from a bunch of the different movies. It's not going to be modeled specifically after any specific film. It's going to have sort of a mishmash of a lot of the Rebel ships. So to have a couple X-Wings, the B-Wing, which I did feature in another video, the Snow Speeders, obviously this A-Wing, the Falcon probably, although I'm not sure if that'll be part of that or if it'd be on its own sort of display. Again, a lot of stuff to figure out, but as far as the A-Wing goes, this is one, much like I said with the B-Wing in that video, I never had this ship before. Never had it as a kid, never bought any of the other versions, and there have been a couple releases. Obviously, there was one that goes back to the 80s, the original one, and that same sculpt of that ship was then re-released in the, I think it was the Power of the Jedi? Power of the Force and Power of the Jedi line. It's sort of like the mid to late 90s. And that one actually looks really good. That was actually the one I was leaning towards for the longest time because it looks very similar to this one. Actually has a very nice sort of dirt and grime wash on it for the coloring, which I really like. There was one, I think in the early 2000s or something. It was part of, I want to say the Saga line, but I can't remember exactly. I want to say the Saga line. Very similar. It was, I think, pretty much the same thing as that Power of the Force, Power of the Jedi one. Only instead of the red, it had sort of like a green color to some of it, which again, great looking ship. I was kind of partial to the red one though. And then obviously there was this one in the Legacy Collection. There was one released in the Vintage Collection. I believe it was one that had a blue color to it, and that was based on the A-Wing that's in The Last Jedi. Obviously, I wanted one that went with the original trilogy. So obviously, as much as that Power of the Force / Jedi, I can't remember which line exactly it was the one I was leaning towards. I kept going back to the Legacy Collection one for a couple of reasons. One, this one actually does have, I believe, a brand new sculpt, even though some of the details of it are the same as the older release. I think things like the cockpit are new and a couple other things. Again, it has that really great paint job on it, which I'll cover in just a moment. But the main thing was cost. That was the thing I was kind of leaning towards. The other one is, honestly, I got it for so much cheaper. The thing about the Legacy Collection one is that it ended up costing me more than twice as much as that other one would have. But I had to ask myself, like, which one would I rather have? And at the end of the day, this was actually the one I want. I wanted the Legacy Collection one for reasons that we're about to go into. So as you can see, it just looks so nice. It's got that nice coloring on it with some of the sort of dirt wash on it. Nothing extreme, just enough to kind of give it that sort of worn-in look, which has always been sort of a staple for the look of Star Wars in general. And that's why it was kind of nice in some of these lines when they started really adding that look to it. And I was partial to these open boxes, as I mentioned before. I kind of wish there was something they still do. I know with the Vintage Collection, it's closed-in boxes to mimic the original 80s look. But I always love these open boxes where you can actually see the ship that you're going to have. See right there? I don't know if you can see, but let me look at even the detail in the cockpit. Everything. There'll be a closer look on these once I get to, for those of you who don't know, we're new to my channel, this is my preview series. This is stuff that I will be opening to go into my Star Wars display. I'm not opening it today, though. I need to keep them boxed just so they're easier to move around. So if you're looking for an unboxing, I apologize, this is not that series, but I will be getting to that soon. And I do want to take a look at the figure, and that was kind of the nice thing too, is that it did come with a figure, which you can see there. It comes with, what is his name? Includes exclusive Arvel Krind figure. Is that how I pronounce his name? Crinid? Oh god, I hope I'm pronouncing it okay. But as you can see, it's just a nice looking figure, very, very detailed. Has a lot of articulation because this is part of the Legacy collection. It does come with just a nice paint job, a lot of detail. Again, another reason to get this version, even though I believe all the other ones do come with a figure, this was the figure, this was the pilot figure I kind of really wanted. And another thing too that was redone, I think, was the look of the engine for this sculpt over the last one, which I also kind of liked. So yeah, this is, as you can see here, it's a Walmart exclusive, which is probably why this also ended up being as expensive as it is. And the packaging on this one, there's actually nothing on the back, but on the bottom is where they have some of the details for this. As you can see here, pretty simple. Some of the things that it does, I think, is what pretty much all of them do, like the pivoting laser thing, like that's, I think they all do that. Same thing with the retractable landing gear. I believe that's also something that they all do. Although I believe in some of the older ones, the front landing thing can actually go in if you don't pop it out correctly. And then there's the canopy, which I believe also was redone for this. So it actually has a slightly better canopy. And of course there's the figure, which I won't try and pronounce his name again, just in case I am getting it wrong. And one more look of the back there with all of the details and everything. And let's again take a look at the actual ship one more time, which you can see here. Again, it's one I was really happy to finally get. I think I got it about a year ago or so. You know, my first A-Wing, probably my last one. I don't think I'm going to get any more. I think this is I think is one of the reasons why I also wanted to go for this one. I was like, well, if I'm going to get one, I really want to get the one I really want. So that's it for my A-Wing video. If you have any questions, I'll try and answer it, but again, I can only answer so much until I get these things open. Let me know if you have any of the A-Wings and what your thoughts on them are. If you're new to this channel, I hope you do give me a fair shake. Again, this is sort of a newer channel. I do have another channel that's more on films, horror films, and things like that. I do have the link in the description below if you want to check that out. But the Star Wars channel is new, at least as of this recording, depending on when you're watching this video. And I'm happy to kind of feature another Return of the Jedi thing. They're definitely going to start mixing things up a little bit more too, as far as some of the stuff I'm going to cover in this preview series. So I'll jump around from the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy, and some other stuff as well. So that's it for this video. Keep an eye out for the next one. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.